Welcome to a new episode of the Century Farm Show. We're here at the McGavin family farm.
They currently run 200 acres and they are a cash crop farm.
Woke up this morning with the sunrise in my eyes. Just like a new day.
My wife Shannon and I moved down here to the family farm in 2002. We previously lived over in Brussels and had 3 kids, and our kids made us kind of outgrow that house, so we talked to Mom and Dad and took the plunge and bought the family farm.
We came here in 1973 with 4 children and carried on and enjoyed every minute and passed it on to Jeff then.
So when did your family originally purchase this farm? Did you buy it off of another farmer or the Canada company?
No, it was from a man by the name of McEwen, and I'm not positive the actual date when they bought it, but my grandfather moved here, and that's where my dad and my aunt were raised.
I guess he's my great-great-great-grandfather. He moved and settled at the house up in the hill behind us here, and apparently the way the story goes, his wife wanted all of her boys close to home, or his family close to home. So my great-grandpa and Dad's grandfather, he moved built this place here, and then the grandpa took it over from him.
There was another brother across the road, and another one stayed there, and another one moved a mile up the other side of the road, but she wanted them all within a mile of home. So she must have been kind of dominating.
So what do you mainly do on the farm here?
It's strictly cash crop now. In Dad's days, or prior to Dad, like my great-grandfather had a cattle droving business that he sold cattle into Toronto and drove trucks. Dad got lots of rides to Toronto as a young guy. Still on the farm now, we make maple syrup back at the bush here, called Freedom Syrup. We do it for the fallen soldiers in Afghanistan. So it's a fun thing. It started just as Dad and Bob asking if they could make some syrup for the grandchildren just like they used to, and now it's a bit bigger than that. So it grew a little bit. So.
And this is where the McGavin's dealership started?
Yeah, that little shed right behind it.
Shed behind you there. It's most people can barely fit a tractor in it. Kind of the unique thing about the farm too is, as you can see behind us, there's a lot of water flows through it. Years ago, my grandfather Gordon, there's a water wheel behind you there, and Dad can tell the story and how it worked.
So there was a dam in it, and you dammed the water up, and then when you needed power, you raised the gate, and it spun the water wheel and run a generator, and the power come up. And there was 16 2-amp batteries in the house, so it was 32 volt. So that was the electricity. So we had power in the barn, the house, and the shed, the business, and we had a booster motor in each place. If you're at the shed and you didn't have enough power, you start that engine and let it run. But a lot of it came from the water wheel. And the punishment was if you left lights on at night, you had to go down and drop the dam down, and you had to go down in the morning and open it up. So you didn't want to leave lights on.
He was always pretty of a stickler when we were growing up to make sure the lights stayed off. So I know now why.
Do you have any favorite childhood memories from the farm that you'd like to tell us about?
One unique thing was always a great thing go for Christmas trees, but I think it must be a McGavin tradition. We left it to the left in a big storm, so it wasn't safe to go to the bush. So my dad was a really good shot, and the evergreen trees that grow along the road, he shot the top off one, and that was our Christmas tree. So that's some of the weird things that happen here.
Yeah, I guess growing up, there's just been a lot of fun things, and the neighborhood was a lot. There's a lot of kids in the area that we were all friends with, and all the neighbors, and so always congregated and always had played baseball on our front lawn. So all the neighbors came down, and our lawn was the baseball field. So you had to really watch for a long hit because the roads wasn't as busy as it is now. But if you ran, you had to watch if the ball was going across the road, you might get hit by a car. So we weren't probably the safety first type of thing back then. So.
The Dad built the pond down there. They wanted to put gravel in to build the level up where you can see. And so he said, I'll give it to you. Just scrape it out. We want to make a pond there. So they scraped the dirt out, and that's how the road got built up, and that's how the pond got built. But we used to have some great times down there. We had 2 boats in it at one time, and so pretty near drove the neighbor next crazy because she'd think we're going to hit each other because we'd play chicken with them. And then in the winter, they'd skating. And one time was really unique. The water froze so clear, you could see right to the bottom of the pond, see the frogs laying down there, and the little insects would go from hole to hole to get in the air, and the dogs wouldn't walk on it because they could see down.
Tell us about some of the challenges of running the operation over the years.
We made other implement dealers mad because they said, if you're in business, you should be in town. You shouldn't be out on a farm. If you want a farm, you should be a farmer. So that one of our employees, the guy in the international dealer in Walton, said, I'm going to punch that old bugger. He's talking about you being out in the farm. And Dad said, no, leave him alone. He's advertising for us. So anyways, he went out of business, and we were still in it, being on the farm. So that's just some of the funny stuff. But we had a lot of employees over the years, and a lot of it was somebody buy a piece of equipment and didn't have the money, so they'd work it out. They'd set up the equipment and stuff. So there was my mother. She was pretty famous for having good meals because whoever was here, my dad said, just go in, Florence will give you something to eat. So she never knew how many she was having. So we shipped pigs on Thursdays and cattle on Saturdays. That was the other entertainment.
Yeah, I think the only challenge is just now is just the times, the economics of things, and how things change, and you know, especially young people getting into farming now. It's a huge investment, and you have to be prepared to work for it. Probably another job to maintain the farm too is fun. The house is in good shape, but it does take maintenance to keep it up, and there's times that we've wondered, boy, do we keep putting money into it or not? But anyways, we're pretty proud of it though, and pretty happy with the farm, and it's a great place for the kids. They like coming back home to it too.
Do you have any advice for future farmers out there?
Oh, just yeah, like my opinion is just to hopefully that they can prepare and plan, and be prepared to work hard. It is a type of thing that does require a lot of effort and a lot of time, and of course energy. So and you could say the same, Dad. You've got lots of advice on that, I'm sure.
I think the best advice would be for a boy to marry a dairy farmer's daughter. It's been a real joy to live out in the country and be, you know, when we moved to the farm, my dad said, you'll never be out of work. He said, you go for a walk, you'll see a tree limb fell down, or a fence broke, or a tile broke. He said, you're never out of a job. So that was always true because you didn't have many slack moments, but enjoyed every minute.